Basically press the button here, here, and here, and they're off. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you something crazy, something I never thought I'd actually make a video on, just because there's no way stuff like this actually works. But in this video, I will be showing you how to find the passcode of an iPhone 7 or 7 Plus on the latest iOS 10 or iOS 11 firmware using a new brute force tool. So this thing just came to market, and it actually only works on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. So if you have any older device, you guys are totally safe. If you're using the latest and greatest, beware, because I honestly could see police enforcement, FBI, using stuff like this to bypass your consent with your fingerprints or passcode and getting into your phone. The scary thing is that it works on the latest iOS 11 version. So let's dig right in and see what this is all about and how it works. All right, so from the pictures, it actually looks kind of futuristic, like a tool you would expect to find in some underground tech network or something like that. So here it is, bunch of cables inside, and let's see what the actual diagnostics box looks like. Wow, much tinier than expected. Ooh, we got 3 USB ports. So the cool thing about this one is it can actually hack into 3 iPhone passcodes at the very same time. So we got some silicon boards here, a processor, micro USB to power the actual thing. Kind of an interesting design, just sandwiched right in between 2 panes of glass. We've got buttons here and another micro USB with an actual lightning port that you can use to power this thing. Very interesting. So Apple's own juice will be used to hack the other devices. All right, so let's go ahead and plug it in and see how it works. All right, guys, so a full day of experimentation later, I've come to the conclusion, the crazy conclusion, that this thing actually works. I didn't expect it to, but I'm just amazed. They made it work on the newest iPhones. I would be surprised if Apple actually released a quick patch to fix something like this, but then again, these things are so expensive that not a lot of people are going to be using this. But then again, Apple has a crazy stance on security, so who knows? But in any case, I want to walk you guys through it. I want to show you the process, how it works. It's actually very impressive. They found a loophole in a data recovery state that allows you to use as many passcode attempts as you want. That's where this thing comes into play. So I'm going to walk you guys through it. There are 3 ways that you can do this. One, if you're on an older iOS 10 firmware, it can be anything from 10.0 to 10.3.2. You have to update your phone in order to get into this little state where it can be exploited, the passcode, as many times as you want. So you have to be on iOS 10 to 10.3.2 and update to 10.3.3, or you can be on 10.3.3 and update to iOS 11 to enter that state, or you can be on iOS 11 and downgrade to iOS 10.3.3 to access that state as well. It works on all 3. So let's go to the computer and I'll show you how this works. All right, so I will try and explain this as clearly as I can. I'll be doing 3 devices at the same time to show you guys this really does work. So the first device is going to be on a lower version of iOS 10. Now this can be anything from iOS 10.0 to 10.3.2. I'll be doing 10.0.1, but again, it doesn't matter. The actual exploit lies in the screen between the update completing itself, where we can access the data recovery, which is not limited to a number of passcode attempts. So that's where the trick lies with this program. I would use 10.3.2, but I don't have any devices to spare, as that's going to be the jailbreakable version soon. But anyways, so with device number 1, 10.0.1, basically you're going to plug it in and you're going to use a tool similar to 3U tools or PP. There's like several different versions to go ahead and flash the device. So let's say this one has a passcode. I put a passcode on 0016. And I put it in the low zeros, obviously, so it's going to be pretty fast to brute force the passcode. All right, so obviously you guys won't know the passcode, but you will plug it into your device. It won't be trusted. It really doesn't matter here. All right, so we are going to go ahead and import the iOS 10.3.3 firmware, because I'll be going from 10.0.2 to 10.3.3, the current firmware here. And you want to make sure to retain users' data. So this way we'll be able to use the passcode and access all of their stuff. All right, so place your device into DFU mode. That's 10 seconds with volume down and power button. Let go of power once the screen goes black and keep holding the volume down and it'll enter DFU. Once you're in DFU mode, go ahead and start the flash. Go ahead and click yes. And it'll begin installing the iOS 10.3.3 firmware. So this is device number 1. while this is running, I will go ahead and start on the other devices. And by the way, this program basically bypasses the need to enter a passcode to update your device, as again, the exploit itself lies between the update, between getting to successfully the next firmware. That's where we can go ahead and use the unlimited passcodes attempt. Very interesting little loophole. All right, so while this is running, I'll explain what I'm doing with the other devices. The other one is an iPhone 7 on iOS 11, also with the passcode, and I will be downgrading it to iOS 10.3.3 using this process. And the same goes for an iPhone 7 Plus, just to give you guys several other devices, showing you guys it doesn't work just on one, it works on multiple in all iPhone 7 and 7 Plus models. All right, now that that one is done, I'm going to go ahead and flash the iOS 11 iPhone 7 back down to 10.3.3, all this time while not putting in the passcode, as I don't know. I'm just assume I just picked this up from somebody or someone got arrested and I'm trying to hack into their phone now. All right, so I am now flashing the iOS 11 back down to 10.3.3, but this is the screen that you want to be in. See, this is an in-between between the update process and actually getting into your device. And when you try and press home to recover your data, it presents a passcode. Now this screen here basically gives you unlimited passcode attempts with the box. It's an exploit, a very, very crafty one that we are going to take advantage of. So once I've got all the other devices to the same screen, we're gonna go ahead and start. All right, so as the last iPhone 7 Plus is finishing up, let me go ahead and explain how this works. So you're powered by either a micro USB or an iPhone Lightning cable. Very ironic there. And you have these light sensors that basically keep the screen on. You go ahead and tape them to the front of the phone. We'll do that in a second. And then you have 3 output USBs. Now this is a special type of USB cable that can make inputs on the display without needing touch input. So you don't have to sit there and type in all the codes by yourself. So pretty cool. You can work on 3 iPhone 7 or 7 Plus models at the same time. Now with this comes a special program developed somewhere in China. Not really sure who is responsible for it, but it handles the firmware for this guy. They said that in an upgrade it may work on iPhone 6 and 6S models, but right now it doesn't really work on anything but the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus and some really old iOS 7 devices. Anyways, so for each slot, you have different options here. And depending on which kind of passcode the device has, you can choose either from a 6 or 4-digit passcode. You can actually select certain types of passcodes that you think the device may have on it. Like if you saw them typing in at least 2 letters, you can make unlimited combos from those 2 letters until it gets them, or numbers. I mean, basically you want to set continuous passcode, and this will cycle through 000 all the way to 9999, or if you have 6 digits, etc. So it's quite a process. It does take a little while, but if you're law enforcement, you don't really care that it's going to sit there for a few days until it finds a passcode. Now you can also start it at a certain number if you have a suspicion that it starts with a 4 or 5. Maybe you saw them type it in with that. Definitely helps narrow it down so you can finish the process, the brute force, much faster. All right, so I've got this set up. Once you have all of your presets in, where you want to start, how many characters, go ahead and select write settings. So right. And this guy has a little display, so you'll know where it's at currently, where it's going. All right, sorry, it is a little bit cluttered. There's a lot going on here, a lot of cables, but you can see that all devices are in this state where they have no details, nothing else but this press home to recover screen. This is the in-between where we want to be to get those unlimited attempts. So again, this is going from iOS 11 down to 10.3.3, same for this one here, and this one from an older version of iOS 10 to 10.3.3. So just as soon as you plug it in, you'll notice the screen will start flashing. Basically press the button here, here, and here, and they're off. So the brute force has begun. Now it takes approximately 50 seconds per code in the beginning. It does ramp up towards, after I believe 20 attempts or so, to about 10 seconds each for me personally. But even at a minute each, 50 seconds each, it will take a few days to cycle through all the possibilities on a 4-digit passcode. On a 6-digit, if you're going from 00000 all the way to 9s, that could take over a week, over 10 days even. That's crazy. But again, this is long term. This isn't something someone's going to pick your phone up and get into your data right away. but it certainly is possible. All right, and just about finishing up with the iPhone 7 Plus. So to give you an idea of how this works, I don't think I need this thing anymore. I'll peel that off. Basically, it went through the data recovery, it entered the right passcode, and once that happens, it basically lets you in. And this is after this many attempts. So in a second here, it's going to realize that the process has finished to let you know, or it'll basically freeze on the correct passcode here. And it's well beyond the 5 incorrect attempts that iOS gives you. So as we see, basically finishing up right here. And this is where it leaves the passcode and gives it to you, hands it off to you to go ahead and input it yourself. All right, so moment of truth. Basically, it's frozen on all the passcodes, and we're going to go down the line here. So for the iPhone 7 Plus, 0015, and it boots you right into the finish update page. So from here, we'll go through it and finish this up, and we'll be right back on the device. And I'll show you guys that all of your data is still there. And I don't believe I really had anything on here. So not on this one, but on the next one, I do believe I had something. Overall, there it is. This one was accessed. Let's try this one. That's 0016. And taking it off life support here. 0016. Updates completed. Cool. And this one here does have some of my data, so I'm going to dim the screen, and inside we have something that was taken a while ago, March 18th, inside of this device with the passcode 0016. Super cool. That one worked as well on the iPhone 7. And here's another one, downgrade from iOS 11. So the passcode for this one, 0012, just like that, you're in. And finish up this process, and we got into this one too. So guys, there it is. That allowed us to bypass the passcode. Not bypass, but it gave us the passcode for all these devices. It will not bypass iCloud though. So if you're signed into that, there is no way to remove it. You'll just be inside the phone being able to use it, but you won't be able to remove that. So that is what this tool is. That's what it can do. A bit scary. Definitely not something that everyone will be able to pick up and do right away. Not to mention it was almost $600. So this thing certainly has its uses, but it's not going to be for everybody, that's for sure. So if you guys are worried about this though, I'm sure Apple will be releasing a patch for it soon, maybe on iOS 10, probably on iOS 11, but that's crazy that this thing still works up to iOS 11 on the newest devices. All right guys, there it is. That is how to hack a passcode on the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus on the newest firmwares. Again, really crazy. I just like finding this kind of stuff out. It's very interesting. It piques my interest to find ways around security. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Peace.